It's the matchup we've all been waiting for. It's Jared Goff versus Carson Wentz, the Rams versus the Eagles. Both teams leading their divisions. With Gary Klein, I'm Lindsay Theory for the Los Angeles Times. Gary, I asked several players in the locker room. They admitted that if you had told them a year ago that these two young quarterbacks would be leading their teams in such important games in December, they might not have believed it.
No, and this is the matchup, as you mentioned, that we've all been waiting for, I think, since the draft. Since the Rams took Goff #1, Wentz #2 to the Eagles, both of these quarterbacks have blossomed. Wentz burst onto the scene last year as a rookie while Goff struggled, but both of them playing well, leading teams that lead the NFL in scoring at 30.1 points a game.
The Rams say that Robert Woods is questionable to play for their offense. I think that's a little bit unlikely. A lot of the offense is going to go back through Todd Gurley, and Todd's going to have his hands full. He's going against one of the top-rated defenses, and he even said this week, "Whoa, guys, are you trying to scare me?" When we asked him what it was going to be like going against such a stout group.
Todd Gurley, the thing about him is he's been multi-dimensional this year as a runner and as a receiver. And as Doug Peterson, the Eagles coach, talked about, that's been the biggest difference he's seen in Gurley, his ability to not only catch the ball on screen passes, but downfield, through the seam. Sean McVay has had a challenge up to this point. This is going to be his biggest challenge. With that run defense, how does he get Todd Gurley involved?
And with the Rams defense, how do they stop the run? Last week against the Cardinals, we saw Alec Ogletree go out, not because of that flip, that haphazard flip, but he did injure his left elbow. The Rams expect that he'll be back, but Gary, how much do you think that the Eagles are really going to test Ogletree up the middle?
I think if, in fact, Ogletree is in this game, they're going to go right at him to see that. Let's look at it. The Rams are suffering a little bit at linebacker. Connor Barwin probably is not going to play in this game because of a broken forearm. Mark Barron is questionable. He's a guy that's been up and down in terms of his availability, but he always plays, so I expect him to be in there. But this is a linebacker group that's got a big challenge ahead with that run game.
Your prediction?
Well, I think the Rams are going to have a
Gary,
tough time. I was just going to say, I think the Rams are going to have a tough time against an Eagles team that lost at Seattle, was down here in Southern California, and I think the Rams, as much as Sean McVay talked about this week wasn't a distraction with the fires around Southern California, I think it did impact their preparation. So I think I'm going to have to pick the Eagles in a close win.
Wow, Gary's really going with the Eagles on this one. This is kind of remarkable. You know, like you mentioned, I think the guys were really thrown out of routine. I think you kind of sensed that in the locker room all week. Todd Gurley said they liked that light day on Wednesday, and if they win, maybe they'll say to their head coach, "Hey, we don't need to have a full day of practice every Wednesday from here on out in the season." I'm actually going to pick the Rams this week. So this is we're kind of flip-flop roles here, Gary. I think the Rams are going to come out strong. I think Jared Goff's going to prove why he was the #1 pick. And I think they're going to go into that game against Seattle looking to clinch the division. Simple enough. All right, with Gary, I'm Lindsay. We'll see you next time from the Coliseum.